Hi, this is Jack Quarles of BuyingExcellence.com, and my question is, how important is buying at your company? Could it be as important as selling? Could it be even more important? We'll start to answer that question by looking at the basic equation of business. Revenue minus costs equals profit. There's what comes in, what goes out, and what's left over. Now, if what comes in and what goes out determine what's left over, then at the highest level, there are two questions which will determine your success at business. How well do you sell, and how well do you buy? This is simple, but it's profound because the selling part seems to get all the attention. Think about the first number you learn about with any company. It's their revenues. How many people in your company have been to sales training? Now, how many have been to buyer training? Any? What's your own personal bias? I'm going to quiz that, so get a pen handy. And here's the scenario. You are the president of a $100 million company. I come to you as the VP of sales with some great news. I say, I just closed a $5 million account. It'll all hit next year, and it wasn't even on our radar charts. $5 million of new revenue. So the question is, how happy are you? And I want you to write down a number that corresponds to how happy you are. Okay, now scenario B. Same company. You're still the CEO, but I'm the VP of operations. I come to you and say, great news. I figured out how to trim $5 million from our operating budget without firing anyone and while keeping quality the same. Same question, how happy are you? And again, I want you to write down a number to show how happy you are. So you've got your two numbers. Now we'll see if you're right. Let's look at the math. So let's assume that this $100 million company has a healthy net profit margin of 10%, which means $10 million in profit. The first scenario with the new business brings in another $5 million of revenues. And if the average margin holds, that will contribute $500,000 to the bottom line. A quick increase of 5% to the profit. Not too shabby. But now let's look at the second scenario. What happens to that $5 million in savings? Well, every last dime of it comes off the middle line and drops to profit. That's a contribution of $5 million to the bottom line, or a 50% increase, just like that. So now let's go back to your numbers. If you had a happy answer for scenario B that was 10 times your number for scenario A, then you got it just right. Now, of course, this is an illustration, and you can't have a company without growth. But the point is, at any given time, there's a lot more profit action to be gained working on the middle line, the costs, than by bringing in new sales. $1 of savings is worth a lot more than $1 in new sales. When everyone in your company understands that, you're on the path to buying excellence.